I'm going to start with basics Kubernetes. So I have questions. Who has heard about Kubernetes? Almost everyone. Okay, awesome. Who is using Kubernetes? Okay, awesome. Who has heard about Docker? Yeah, everyone. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about Kubernetes. A short story, like introduction. What is Kubernetes? Let's imagine we have Yerevan in Malmo, yeah? And we have ship, which comes with a container. And if you are going to handle only one container, then a single guy should be enough, yeah? So he can say like, this container goes to this truck and truck will go somewhere. But imagine if ship comes with 1,000 containers. So then we have some we need some orchestration. Then the same is happening with Docker and Kubernetes. So if you are using like one single container, yeah, you can use Kubernetes, but it's useless then because it's designed for a huge amount of Docker containers. So basically the new Kubernetes is able to handle 5,000 nodes and 300,000 containers, which is 150,000 pods. So you can use like even with single container Kubernetes, but then it's overkill. So today I'm going to show you how you can work with a Go application. It doesn't have to be Go always. Let's imagine if it's something other than Go. But the idea is to present you how it works with containers. I'm going to deploy deployment in Kubernetes. I'm going to show you how it works, and then load balanced application. So let's get started then. Who is familiar with Vagrant? Vagrant? Okay, awesome. So basically in Kubernetes, when you are in a master node and you have slave nodes, you can run a command like Kubernetes get nodes, and it will show how many nodes are available to be deployed with the containers. So in our case, there are 2 nodes, which is all in Vagrant. So it's all in my computers right now. Let's go and see what we can do with this. So, here we have a Docker machine, which we are going to use to create a Docker image, and we are going to push it into the Docker Hub. So everything you are going to see by Docker Hub and etc. So everything will be visible to you. So first of all, in Kubernetes, you have 2 possibilities to deploy something. Like you have a YAML format or a JSON format, which is a configuration file. And then you have possibility to run with a single command. So you run a command and there is something happen in the background. So what I'm going to show you, a stupid script, which is going to show you like we are going to deploy image which is from Docker Hub, and it's a Gangsta Docker IP, which is the Docker. What is the Docker IP container? It's containing Go code, which is going to print the IP address of Docker itself and some stupid message. So let's first of all create the Docker. So we see main Go. So it's basically your application, your content. It could be like a PHP web page or whatever. And we are going to create something with a Docker file. So who has worked with Docker file? Oh, awesome. So what we are going to do in the Docker file, we are going to get a Golang 1.8, some build, and the second container is to get the same application in a lightweight container. So let's build this. And I forget to mention something. So everything is going to be available in GitHub. So every command that I'm going to run, everything what I'm going to show today, is available in a GitHub. So to show you that everything is work, I'm going to just copy and paste from web. So it's there, it's tagged. Okay, then I can just tag and push. So it's going to push container to Docker Hub. We are going to see that it's available in Docker Hub. And then I'm going to run Kubernetes to bring this application as a deployment. I'm not going to create a pod because pod is a single container. Who is going to use single container? I don't think that if you want to keep a highly available application, you are not going to use a single container. It's mostly multiplied, highly available, shared storage or whatever. So let's see if it's actually there. So tags. So latest is in few minutes ago deployed. And let's see if we can. Sorry. So what is going? What happens now? So we create a deployment with this new Docker IP container. So now it's awesome part. Okay, so there are currently 10. So I will get. So you can see there is 10 containers running. So they are available with this number, with these IP addresses, but this IP addresses is in flanld. So you can use these IP addresses in Node itself, but it's not going to be visible outside because it's internal IP addresses. It's used for flanld to keep a separate network inside nodes. So, but how we are going to see if we can reach these applications? That's why Kubernetes has a service which is going to open port from node to internal network, and we can. Yes. How you mean? That I'm going to open one port to several IP addresses, you mean? Okay. Because we are using two nodes. So question was, why is this IP addresses multiplied? Yeah? Okay. So in the comment before, so kube control. So you see there is a two nodes. So in each node you have the same IP addresses multiplied. So basically the 2 and 2 is 1 here. So it's separate network in flanld. So if I answer your question, or there is some. So if it's answer your question or not. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but you can't do SSH because these pods are in internal. So if you go to node, you can see like the 5 pods are deployed in one node, yeah, and the replica is in other one. So in the node, when you do SSH, then probably you will get to the this one. So, but which one is where? I don't know, because it's in 2 different nodes. And but you really don't mind about that because it's the same container. Everything what happens with the 0.3 is going to happen with everyone because it's deployment, it's replicated Docker. So the same application is replicated 10 times. The idea of this replication is basically when you have application like with requests, yeah, and like your application can handle, let's say, 10 requests, and then you become popular with your application and some people are sending another request and it's become like 100 requests per second. So then you deploy 10 of the same application that you can handle 100 requests. So it's just basically information. What I'm going to do now, because this, as you say, is not available right now for outside, I'm going to deploy a service which is going to open in a node a specific port which is going to point to the Docker. So then we can reach from outside to Docker. Then I need to do kube control create. Okay. So it's awesome. Then I have here a terminal. What I'm going to do, I should do like this. Kube control get oh, wait, I'm kind of lost. Sorry. So basically you get information where is your service exposed. So it's in every node in this IP address you can reach your Docker. And the IP addresses is defined in the Vagrant file. If I had AWS, then I could see the IP address of AWS machine. Because it's in a Vagrant, it's not showing really the IP address of Vagrant box. So let's say I'm going to copy this one. And because I know the IP address, I'm going to do like this. It's 71, the first node, and the port is this. So yeah, nice. It's showing up that the IP address is 0.2 and it's sending some stupid message. Let's refresh. So it's 0.5. And every time when I do a refresh, can you see the IP address is changing? So it's basically pointing to the 5 containers that it's deployed in the node. So if I change the IP address to second one, then I'm going to the second node. And then if I do like refresh, every time I get another IP address. So it means that basically if you have, let's say, AWS, or if you have your own infrastructure and you have 5,000 nodes where you can do load balancing, so you can reach every Docker in your infrastructure. If I used to have a load balanced between these 2 nodes, then I can reach basically every Docker. So, but funny part is not here. Let's imagine, because this is very simple. Like everyone can do this. But the idea is what's happening when you update your application. What is going to happen actually? So that's why I have another terminal where I'm going to run watch command, and I will do a curl to this node. So it's giving us some information, and I'm going to update message. Let's see. So okay. Okay, here is a message. So let's say just message DevOps demo new and small buggy. Because I'm developer, maybe I did some wrong code and there is a bug in. Okay, so I'm going to yeah. So message is updated. So I'm going to recreate another Docker with another tag, with dev tag, which will means that our application is new and it has new message. And we are going to see here after that Docker is pushed to the Docker Hub, how we are going to update. In Kubernetes, you have some strategy how they update pods deployments. So basically, if you have more than 2 pods, it's going to, depending on the count of your deployment, it's going to kill one pod and bring one up. Kill one pod, bring one up. If you have like huge amount and it's the Kubernetes is going to kill 2 Dockers and it will bring 2 Dockers up. So in the interval where you are going to update, you can see both messages. So you see the new application and the old application. Okay, so successfully tagged. Let's see if it's not wrong. Oh, 400 sure. No, it's still not here. Oh. Oh, but I didn't push. Sorry. It's my fault. Let's tag the dev. Because it's a new application, let's put it dev and push. Go. So it takes some time before we have it successful. Is there any question so far? Can you get what I'm doing, or it's like complex or very simple? No? It's all good? Okay, perfect. So the container is there. Let's see. So dev is few seconds ago, so it's basically ready. Okay, let's go and see. Okay, well, okay. So we have YAML, and it says the latest. So image is latest. Let's change it to dev. Okay, so kube control. Oh, is it update? Yeah. So, okay. Mean G is not the correct one. Mean F should be there. Okay, so it says that in the future it should be replaced, but we should see now that the message should be changed to the new one. Let's see if it's happening. Yeah. Yeah, so the message is changed. So we have now a bug in our application, but we will solve it later on. So what happens actually? So we have new application deployed, and you can see like a small interval where you can reach both application, the previous and the new one. Can you make it like better? To be honest, I don't know. There is some downtime always. So if you go from previous application to new application, there is always a small downtime. In this case, you have no downtime, but then you have possibility to reach previous and new application. Okay, awesome. We can see that the message is changed, But okay, we see that bug is inside our container, so we don't want to see this. And also this the not reaching is causing by my computer, because everything is happening in my computer, so it has no processor enough to handle this all requests. But okay, now what is the awesome part in Kubernetes? If something goes wrong, then you have possibility to roll back everything. So something happens, not good. Okay, we have a command. Oh, so we have possibility to bring our infrastructure back. So I'm going to make it bigger. Our deployment was Gangsta. Okay, then we are going to roll out history to see what history do we have. So there is 2 revisions. The first one was the right application that we deployed before, and the second one is the one that we have a bug inside. So we want to get to the first one, because the first one was much better. Okay, then we are going to roll back. Okay. And revision is 1. So I'm going to make bigger, that we can see that message is going to back to the previous one. Yeah, so you see the message is changing to the previous one. So imagine if something goes wrong, if your development doesn't know what he's exactly doing. Make no sense. The Kubernetes provides you possibility to roll back everything. Then what else can I tell you guys? There is also some awesome tools that you can, and features that you can use in Kubernetes. Because I don't have really a private repository of Docker, but maybe you have. So in case of, if you have private Docker repository, then you should authenticate somehow to get the image pulled into the Kubernetes. Then Kubernetes is providing you a secrets. So you can basically create secrets depending on user and etc. And you can easily put it into the YAML. So everything what you want, and you just tell them that the pull secret should be used, the secret that you defined there. So if you have some private Docker image, it's also solved by Kubernetes. So secret is there, so no other external parties or scripts are needed. And that was basically my presentation today, to give you like a small information how you can do that. If there are any questions about that, or if someone didn't get what I did in this 20 minutes, 25 minutes, was it clear for everyone? Like how you can easily roll back, roll out, and I can show you some also awesome part, because it's end, so I'm not going to use this Kubernetes any further. So imagine if your requests are huge now, so you can just put this 10 to 20, and here you go. Kube control, update-f. Okay, so watch command to see what's happening. So basically 20 containers is there. So you can see that is terminating and creating. But why is it terminating? Do you know why? Because in the YAML file we defined that it's going to deploy the dev application which has bug inside. So that's why it's going to update everything and bring 20 of them. So that was my presentation basically. What else I want to tell you? Maybe a few of us want to know, why do I choose Kubernetes? There are two reasons. First of all, monitoring. So if you have application deployed in your infrastructure, first of all you care is monitoring. When your application is done, you have to be notified. The behavior of your application is wrong, then you have to be notified. Kubernetes 1.8 plus 5, I think, it has great integration with Prometheus, which we are using. Who knows Prometheus? Okay, so Prometheus is a monitoring tool, and it provides you really easy monitoring possibilities. So first of all was the monitoring. You can get easily all metrics deployed into Prometheus, and you can even write some alert rule that if the pod behavior is not good, then you will be notified by Prometheus. This was the first one, because I know that few guys will complain like, why you are not using Nomad, Docker, Swarm, Rancher. I don't see this monitoring available in other products. That's why I use the Kubernetes. The second reason is how good is Kubernetes promoted to our world. Do you know how many containers are available? Container applications are available in open source? Lot of. But why we are using Docker? Yeah, everyone is using Docker, yeah? Why not Rocket? Because it's good promoted. There is a huge community behind it. You can find easily tutorials around it. So the same happens with Kubernetes. You can easily find every tutorials for Kubernetes. You can easily get some guy near you who can help you to bring Kubernetes up and running. So that was my presentation. Yay! So thank you guys. If you have questions, we have 10 minutes before pizza is arrived. Go ahead, no shame. Okay, so the question is why I can't use single container in Kubernetes, or where is the limit? Kubernetes is usable, yeah? Okay, so the question is, like, let's say limit after that you are going to use Kubernetes. There is no limits. There is no guidelines that you can say from here you can use Kubernetes. You can use Kubernetes with single Docker, but have you ever set up Kubernetes? Probably no. There's little bit pain in neck when you want to set up Kubernetes in a production, because you are going to face with flanld, etcd, Kubernetes itself. So if you are going to set up these three applications in highly available production mode for single container, I think it's overkill. If your single container is so important, then you can do, because Kubernetes is designed starting from 1 to 300,000 containers. So it's really depending on your needs. Why I say it's overkill? Because if you have a single Docker, you can write some stupid bash script which can handle everything, and you can make it highly available everywhere because it's single. So, and as a single guy, you can always enter to VM and say, okay, what is the health status of my Docker? But to set up like nodes and etc., everything for single. But myself, I will say if you are above 10 or 20, then you can use Kubernetes because it's like not available to do manual steps. Is it an answer to your question, or you want to get more information? So any other questions? Yeah, go ahead. No shame. Let's go. We have Albert who can understand Swedish. I don't, but if you have some question in Swedish, Albert can help us. Yeah. So, no? Okay. Awesome. Then let's ask, was it enough presentation to fit your needs, or is it what you expected, or was it less, more? Give me feedback. Come on, guys. Go ahead. Go. Someone? Hand? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it's basics. I can go like deep in flannelD to tell you about how the network designed and etc. But maybe you will listen me. Yeah. And who work with flannelD at CD? Kubernetes in production? How you mean? Oh, okay. Okay, so he is using KCD. Who is using flannelD? No one. Yeah, so it's like I can give advanced. If members want to hear advanced Kubernetes, welcome. I'm able to give, but then user will be only person who is interested. Yeah. So we have two guys. Awesome. Okay. Okay. Awesome. I mean, Kubernetes is going so far that, I mean, the Jenkins is deployed in Kubernetes, monitoring is deployed, every infrastructure component is deployed in the Kubernetes. Okay, awesome. So, yeah. The reason that I chose the Kubernetes was monitoring, because we are working a lot with containers, and I didn't really see this feature in the rancher. Maybe I missed something. Yeah, so. Yeah. Ah, okay, awesome. I'm not really following rancher, but yeah. Yeah. I heard a little bit, but okay. I used to work with Nomad. Who has heard about Nomad? It's HashiCorp product, so it's in Go written, but it's pain in the neck to get it in a work because it has like no monitoring, nothing. So you have to set up console on top of it and etc. So guys, that was the basics. Cause I don't really want to give more than the basics, because it's the simple commands that you can use in Kubernetes to do some simple stuff. It's our first meetup, so we really don't know who is going to attend here. So now on we know that we can bring a level a bit higher. as people expecting like more. So the next time, Albert, yeah, you are going to have pain. Okay, so we are going to prepare it like in a bit highly level because we see you first time, and that was it. So come up with ideas. We are really looking forward to see what you are expecting to hear and what you want to see in our next meetups. Even level is also welcome. Tell us which level would you like to see our presentations. Yeah? Okay, awesome. Let's wait for pizza.
Let's do a leg stretcher. You don't have to sit down anymore. So do a leg stretcher and then the pizza will come.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.